Hey, Retro Maniacs, EP here. We're talking Marvel. We're talking Marvel Series 3 from Impel. This is my biggest loss from the bubble, the COVID bubble. You guys probably remember me talking about this on the regular show or on the Wednesday show. I want to talk a little bit more. Joe opened an entire... he opened a box on air. I opened 2 boxes. I think he opened more than 1 box himself, and I opened 2 boxes myself. And just want to talk about this a little bit more. Again, this is my biggest loss from COVID. I spent $593.60 on 2 boxes. That's $297 per box, and then I bought a 3rd box for $175 to bring my average down to $256. Then later, I sold one of those boxes for $155. So and I only got $105 out of that after fees and shipping and all that sort of stuff. So I took a pretty big loss there. But I have made $420.45 in sales. So before I get to that, I want to just review the product a little bit. I know, again, Joe did an entire break on it, but I just want to talk about it. So one of the big issues with this set is, here's Storm from X-Men. You can see I got 3 Storms here. I also have 2 other sets that I've already that already have Storms in them, and I believe I gave Joe a Storm. I'm not sure about that, but to give you an idea, there are 3 of these. Look at that many Wondermans. We'll talk about Darkhawk here in a minute. I'm going to put that aside for now. So, but you can see there's multiples in here, and then there's only 1 card. I still, for my A set, my number 1 set, I still have, it's a run of 5 or 6 cards all in a row. Let's say, for example, 127 through 131 or something like that, that I do not have. That I opened 2 boxes, did not get them, and that Joe did not have from the box or boxes he opened. Moon Knight is one of the cards where I believe... I definitely have a Moon Knight in each of my sets, and I've graded a Moon Knight, and I think I gave Joe a Moon Knight, and I have another Moon Knight here in this stack that we're going to talk about here in a minute. So, you end up with you can end up with 6 to 8 cards of one character, and then no cards of multiple characters. So it's a very, very odd thing. Also, this was the 90s, so you guys probably remember. Cards getting, I guess it still happens, but you can see it there. This card's getting stuck in the pack, so this card got crimped. That's one of the Venoms. Got crimped there, you can see. So, saving that one as a trophy, love that. And then also, speaking of trophies, I want to send these in to get them graded. You can see Strong Guy's cut off, the Marvel logo's cut off, but then you can see the top of the next card there. And then same with the Celestials. I would just, I want to get them graded, and just it would be fun to get them graded to see what the grade came back. I don't know if they would do off-centered for these or not, but I think it'd be kind of fun to take a look at. So anyhow, yeah, I bought these cards. My big brain, EP's big brain, got going, and I thought to myself, you know what? Marvel Impel Series 3, they have the Vision and Scarlet Witch card in it together on the same card. And I thought to myself, you know what? People are going to be going crazy for these. I'm going to be able to double my money. I'm going to buy these boxes at $300 a box. I'm going to double my money, because at this point, Series 1 was off the charts. Series 2 was super expensive too. I was like, the next step, they're going to be starting to go Marvel Series 3 because they can't afford the other ones. And this one has this card in it. And at that time, that's when WandaVision was coming out on Disney+. I felt like this was a perfect storm. And EP's brain got going. I was like, I'm going to get 2 boxes. Then after I got the 2 boxes, oh, it's expensive. And then the prices were going down. I was like, I'll get another box. Look how cheap this is. People are crazy. And then I was the crazy one. So anyhow, that's what happened there. Yeah, so that card right there is the reason why I thought I would be able to make money off of this. Obviously, it did not happen. So now I'm going to talk about grading the cards and kind of what I've done to kind of get out of this hole a little bit. I think I've said if I made $420.45 in sales on this product. That is cleared after fees and everything. So I'm not talking about pre-fees. So grand total, I've spent $869.03, and that includes $100 for grading, which I've sold all the graded cards that I had. I did really, really well. There are ways to look at these cards, and there are a lot of different things to worry about with these cards. I don't know if I can get a good example. There's some chipping. You can see the chipping across that one edge right there, and then corners and stuff. These are very, very thin cards. They can just have a little ding just from being in the pack. So when you find cards that are gradable, it's one of those things where they really stand out. And so that was my thought, and that's why I sent in the 6 cards with the group order that we did. I'm sure you guys have checked it out. You can search for if you search for non-sports reveal, you can find it. It was a 15 card order that all 3 of us sent cards in, and it was really it was a lot of fun, and I ended up doing really well. The only 9 I got out of the Series 3 was the Spider-Man, and this Spider-Man's pretty good. The corners aren't perfect, but that Spider-Man was closer to good, but it was also the one I was like, it's probably, like, that was the one that I was like hoping for a 10, and you should never send in a card hoping for a 10 on a card that you absolutely need to get a 10 on. And these cards are, I mean, I ended up selling my 9 of the Spider-Man for $18. So after, fees and everything, I think I made 11. I have here. I made $11.74, which did not cover the $15 fee to get them graded at the time. So you definitely need 10s, and you need to be sure about the 10s. And that one was like I really want to send in a Spider-Man. As the huge Spider-Man fan that I am, I was like, I gotta send in a 10. I gotta send in a Spider-Man. I hope it's a 10, but even knowing that it probably wasn't gonna be a 10. So I want to say I got 4 Spider-Man cards for this card number 1 in the set. I think I got 4 of them, and none of them were really gradable. That one was the closest that we could get to. Anyhow, to go on to it, so I sold a collector that I got a PSA 10 on that one. That was a Pop 1. So my collector that I sent in was the first ever Pop 1. I got $129.99 out of that. I also sent in a Secret Wars card, and that's there's subsets towards the end, similar to like this team up card. There's subsets that at the end that talk about X-Men or the Celestials. Here's an example of one of those, the Celestials. And then so like the origin stories, that sort of stuff. And then they talk about Secret Wars, Infinity Gauntlet, all that sort of stuff. Very, very cool set, amazing set. But I got a Pop 8, I got a PSA 10 that was a Pop 8 on my Secret Wars card. Sold that for $69.99. Then I also had the Moon Knight card, which was a PSA 10, sold for $34.37. A Carnage card, which is considered his rookie card, sold that for $69.99. I cleared $52.11 on that, and I cleared $42.58 on a Fantastic Four Origins card that was a population 5. So there are a lot of low population cards in there, and because people are worried, like if you're not getting a 10, you're not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out for you probably very well. You're gonna lose money. So, however, I feel like I've had pretty good luck looking at these cards and knowing what looks like a 10 and what doesn't. So I have pulled aside, and this is only from some cards that Joe requested a little while back, and I went through and picked out cards for him. And as I'm going through them, I'm looking through my cards of those cards and saying to myself, are any of these 10s? Just because, or any of these potential 10s, obviously I can't say for sure they'll be 10s, but are any of these potential 10s? If they are, I need to put these aside and not give them to Joe, take them out of my sets, everything. Just put them aside and say, I need to send these in to see if I can make up I'm down $448.58 after everything else that I've sold and everything that I've spent. So I have to spend another $15 to $20 depending on, I'm probably wait till there's a special. There's a $15 special right now, but I'm going to wait till there's a special before I send these in. That $5 is going to make a huge difference on anything that's less than a 10 for sure. But here's an example of Call of Kingpin, like a storyline, a milestone storyline that they do. Here's a Hulk card, Wolverine, two Wolverine Origins, Iron Man, Extinction Agenda, Evolutionary War, Bishop, Warlock, Thor, Moon Knight. There's that second Moon Knight, and again, I feel like the first box that I opened had cards that were, don't want to say immaculate, but they had a lot of cards from that very first box that I opened that were really, really clean. And again, there's a lot of opportunities for chipping on the back. There's like dings. I had a Sue Storm card I was going to send in that just had a crinkle, like a ripple in the middle of the card. That was not caused by me, nothing. It just came out of the pack like that. So when you see a card, especially the backs are a huge deal in my opinion. There's a lot of chipping on this purple on the back. There's these dark edges on the back. So and there's the Galactus, Coming of Galactus, and then Invisible Woman. There's another Sue Storm, and it had like the crinkle like right here somewhere. It's like, man, it's just so weird because one of the things about it was I had gone through the cards before, for that order, the 6 cards that I sent in. I went through probably 10 different, maybe not 10, four different times. The 5th time I was in, it was at night. a different lighting situation, and I had the card, and I just saw the crinkle, and I took it out of here, took it out of the top sleeve, and looked at it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed that on all the other times I looked at it. So one other thing that's important to note with these cards is that because of the design, which it's a crazy 1990s design, of course, it's difficult to tell what the centering is. What I've found, the best way to tell is to start with the back. These, because they have these markers right here and right here. And so if you get things lined up and they line up there, then you turn it over and you get some good measurements that line up with the logos here and here, then you're probably looking at a perfectly centered card. So that's what I've been going by. I believe the Spider-Man I sent in was not perfectly centered. It was good qualities everywhere else, but it was not perfectly centered. Was not, and I think that's what really dinged that card. So that's what I'm looking for those. And these have all passed the first eyeball test. Again, the Sue Storm situation, I'm gonna have to double check all those under different lighting conditions again. And then I've also run the centering tool on all of these, and I feel like these are all good candidates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if I get 13 of them, if I can average $30 in sales out of those, hit a couple low pop cards, or maybe I end up with a couple of 9s. Clearly, there'll be a couple 9s in there, I'm guessing. But if I can end up averaging like $20 to $30 profit off of those, that'd get me closer to the number I want to get. And then the last card I want to talk about is this card here, which this is the Death of Gwen Stacy Milestones storyline card. And one of these is in the top loader, one is not. One is from my duplicates pile, one is going to be sent in to be graded for sure. And I'll show you why. This first card here, you can see it ends with hours, mere hours. And this one, you can see, ends with mere hours later with an exclamation mark. So this is the correct card. This is an error card. This is way less prominent than this. As in, this has never been graded. As in, if you check it's been a few months, but if you check all the cards on ComC, all the cards on eBay, you're not going to find this. You're not going to find a photo that includes that on it. So I'm not 100% sure how rare it is. I know there's still plenty of unopened boxes out there. I've thought about buying another box and opening one if I can get one for like $100, which would be insane. I shouldn't do that, but I've thought about doing it. And like part of the allure is maybe trying to find another one of these. So I don't know how rare they are. I know that, like I said, I've checked all the photos on eBay. I've checked all the photos on ComC. A couple months ago, I did that, and I couldn't find a single one that had the word later exclamation mark on it. So I'm going to be sending that in to get graded for sure. That's part of this stack for sure. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about my misadventures during the bubble, and then how I'm trying to get out of it. And I feel like it's going to be a fun thing to send these in and see if I get more 10s. Again, I've had tremendous luck with those. We'll see if that continues.